more restricted. Let's talk about OSAP in school. All right, first of all, OSAP is whack. Um, yeah, whether you're an 18-year-old college student living on res or a 30-year-old man living out of his own place, OSAP pays you the same amount of money. It's like $12,000. Um, so yeah, OSAP is whack. They make you, if you're on any type of other assistance or anything, they make you get off that assistance because they claim that they cover all your expenses. Bullshit. They don't cover all your expenses. They when you think about going to get OSAP and going to school, and they say we're going to cover your living expenses, you expect them after tuition and stuff like that they'll pay for your books and whatnot. I never had any other family members besides myself go to college, so I had to learn all this stuff from fucking secondhand. I thought the tuition and everything, the equipment and stuff like that, like that's all dealing with my books and other required materials to pass the course, such as online codes and so forth. And no, that's wrong. That's wrong. It's terribly wrong. OSAP doesn't cover that. Well, I mean, you end up having to pay for it with OSAP, but it doesn't cover all your living expenses. It doesn't cover all your books. It doesn't cover all this stuff. How do I know? Because I've been struggling on it, and I was a full-time student, and I had to start living off credit cards just to make ends meet because my background is general labor, and there's no general labor place that's going to give me a job for a couple hours a day, part-time, flexible to work around my school schedule. So OSAP doesn't pay for everything. Actually, OSAP pays for most, but not everything. Such as I was on OSAP for 2 regular years, 3 college years. And during that time, I had my family members lend me like $5,000. Now I paid them back with OSAP, and I just had to get more money lent to me and live off credit cards because OSAP doesn't cover it. OSAP doesn't give you enough, okay? Especially in Ontario. OSAP is not enough. You just get fucked in the end, okay? And for the people that's never been to school or had any friends that went to fucking post-secondary school or family members, let me tell you this. If you expect your books and all of that shit besides tuition to be included in tuition, it's not. I didn't know this, so I wasn't prepared. But that shit is not covered. And from the professional people I helped with, or that I got helped with on this situation when I first went into school in 2013, I was applying and everything for it. They told me that they would cover all my expenses. That's what they said. That they would cover all my expenses. They cover all my school expenses and they cover all my living expenses. So I was like, cool, I can focus on school and do what I got to do. And then I found out really, really, really fast that was incorrect. Okay? That was incorrect. They don't pay for your living expenses. They don't pay for your entire, they pay for your entire school, obviously, but they don't pay for your entire living expenses. The money you receive at the bank, the 60% of your first deposit after they pay for your fucking $4,000 tuition for that fucking one semester, okay, is, what they don't tell you is that the $4,000 they send you or whatever for the first year, you have to buy your books. Yeah. You have to pay for your parking pass. That initial start is very expensive. you end up spending an extra $1,000 to $2,000 in your first year on books and other things you just need for school, like parking passes and other stupid shit. Okay? It's like you get charged like $500, $600 fucking for the year. For a year's like 8 months. It's ridiculous for a parking pass. You're basically paying $100 a month. Okay? To park at the schools. OSAP doesn't cover this. Okay? You have to pay $500 now deposit. Before, when you're on OSAP, it was $90. Manageable. Now they want you to pay $500. If not, they don't release your timetable. You know what's even more fucked up? Is if they don't release your fucking timetable, okay, OSAP doesn't get that you have applied for school, which means that you don't get released funding and you don't go to school until you pay that $500. Now, if you're a single male like myself, just trying to make his way. Yeah, $500. Really not that much money. But when you don't have no money, it's a lot of money. You know what I mean? So OSAP is a little whack. They don't cover everything. They don't pay for everything. There are expenses that you will have to pay. If you're a mature student and you don't have, extensive family funds, then you should probably be prepared. And be really, really prepared. And save as much money as you can before you go to school. Because you're going to need it. It's like having a child all over again. But, yeah, OSAP doesn't cover everything. Not even close to everything for living costs. They say, yeah, we'll cover living expenses. Motherfucker, I didn't eat. Okay? I didn't do a human necessity. Because I literally, OSAP paid my rent, my heat and hydro, okay, my car insurance, okay, my cell phone bill, and my internet. Okay? Basics, just things that I just need. I mean, I could probably do without the car if I want to waste a whole bunch of time riding buses and bullshit. And I just don't have time for that. So, be prepared when you go to school, especially if you're an adult, a mature student, if you're changing jobs, changing careers. I decided I want to change from general labor, factory type work to something more professional. And let me tell you, the amount of debt that I have incurred is ridiculous. Okay? 3 years of college, my student loans are now like $40,000 almost. It's 36 last time I looked. Something like that. 37, I don't know. And with my program, most of the students are getting minimum wage. Essentially. Minimum fucking wage. It's not worth $40,000. $26,000 a year job or career is not worth me spending $30,000, $40,000 on education. Okay? That's probably not my total amount, possibly. Don't know, I haven't really looked into it. But, yeah, it's ridiculous. OSAP doesn't pay for everything. So if you haven't been to school, if you don't have any friends that have been to school, or if you've never had any family members that have been to school and you're the first one and you're wondering about it, be prepared. Be prepared. Get yourself a roommate. Okay, get yourself a roommate. Unless you got children and you're seriously grown and got children and stuff. And then you need more bedrooms. And yeah, anyway, OSAP is a shit show. Sure, they'll pay for your school, but like I said, I didn't pay for food. Couldn't afford to pay for food on OSAP. But that's just the life of a mature student in Ontario, I guess. But yeah, guys, before you decide to go to school and take on OSAP loans, be prepared to manage your money really, 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 really well. Be prepared to drop out anything that's extra in your life that's going to cost money anyway. And yeah, I mean, the best thing you can do is be prepared. Plan for a year at a time. Be working and save money for that time. If you don't got a year, it's 6 months. You need at least 6 months of saving a decent amount of money. I would suggest you to have like 3-4 grand saved up before going to school on OSAP, because they're not going to cover everything, and you'll end up getting fucked and in serious amount of debt, like myself. I've got debt up the ass, but people say it's good debt. We'll see. But yeah, guys, before doing the OSAP thing, think about it and really plan, because OSAP doesn't cover everything. Not all your living expenses and all your school expenses. And they do not pay for that stuff when they pay your tuition. Your tuition is just tuition. That's just it. That's just tuition. Bam. Any fees that are associated with tuition, that's all they pay, and they give you the rest of the money to deal with everything else. So, yeah, be prepared when you go to post-secondary and decide to go on OSAP. Because financially, unless you have a part-time job, you're fucked. Good day, Al.